morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, I don't know how this morning's going to go, because I've got errands I got to run. I got 3 different places I want to go, and I want to just only go out one time. So, earlier this morning, I went outside and I put some empty boxes in my car because I'm going to go pick up groceries. That's one of the things I'm going to do. I've already ordered them online, so the pickup time is between 10 and 10:30 this morning. So I don't want to forget about that because I got some stuff that's frozen, and I don't know if they keep it in a freezer until you come and get it or what happens. Anyway, I've never had a problem, so I guess they must keep it in a freezer until you actually come to pick it up. However, another thing I've got to do is I got to get gas for my scooter. Yeah, my little gas can is empty, and I'm probably only got enough in the tank and the scooter for 100 kilometers or so. And the third thing I want to do is I want to pick up a smaller gas can so I can transfer the gas from the big gas can. And did I say I had a little gas can? Actually, it's about a 20-liter can, and it's kind of unwieldy when I try to pour it into the scooter. So I want to be able to transfer into a small one, like maybe a 4 or 5 liter, and be a lot easier. Anyway, so there's 3 places I gotta go. The groceries, and then Canadian Tire to get a gas can, and get the gas. Now maybe I should make a list. If I have to do more than one thing, I pretty near need a list. Okay, this morning, our sunrise, it rose into a clear sky. A lot different from yesterday. But you know, when I went outside this morning to put the boxes in the car, I was amazed at how cold it was. Yesterday morning at this time, I actually had my air conditioner running for a little while to get the warm, muggy air out of the house. I didn't want to open the windows because, as you remember, it was kind of rainy and damp outside. So, yeah, what a difference. I mean, the fall is in the air here in Winnipeg. Maybe not where you live, but, well, for Aussie Frenchmen and my Australian friends, spring is in the air for you guys. Yeah, and I was noticing that the sunrise is getting later and later. It's really noticeable now from day to day. Yeah, and about 3-4 months from now, it's going to be way over by Merv's flag, and maybe it'll come up or maybe it won't. Anyway, what I want to do today, if possible, besides flapping my gums all morning here, is put Panaline color on the decking here. I think that's going to be the next thing I'm going to do, give it a chance to dry. And then, as near as I can tell, we will be ready to start placing parts on the module, which then eventually gets placed onto the main ship. Oh, it's already on the main ship. What's the matter with me? I already glued it down. Okay. Yeah, we are just motoring right along. Oh my, these things here, they're going to be awkward to make. Although I've done it before, I guess I can do it again. Well, that's one nice thing about a submarine. They don't have those. Yeah, the Yamato is a dead issue now, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But I'm realizing it's probably just a little bit too much for me. I think I could do it, but first of all, it's very expensive. It's not available in Canada yet. There's just too much against it right now. recompose here and put some panel line accent color on our parts. Okay. Now, I'm going to use the rotator again because it's really handy to be able to turn it, this way and that, so that you don't go up the sides or places where you don't want to. Especially for painting. Maybe with this particular applicator it's not that important. Okay. Let's get this, try and get it so that you can see it too. I'll put it right in the corner there. Okay. Should I maybe be using the macro lens? What do you think? Let's use the macro lens. Okay. Problem is with using the macro lens, you can really see where I went up the splinter wall a little bit. From a distance, you don't notice that, but okay. Here we go. Now, I've got to get in here so I can see it too. I'm just going to go across the entire deck. I wonder if I was to use a different brush. That might be just a little bit too heavy here. I can't see what I'm doing. Now it seems to me that when I did this on one of the other models, I did take a dry brush and go over it before it had a chance to actually start to dry. So I'm going to just do that and see if that will. What often happens though is then you remove the you remove the stuff out of the paneling stuff out of the cracks, and that kind of, yeah, that's what's happened. It's taken it out of the cracks. Well, I wonder if maybe I was to. I'm going to try and put a little less. You can't see me doing it, but I'm trying to squeegee it off of the applicator here. Because I wanted to go down into the cracks. Otherwise, why bother? I mean, that's the whole idea of this stuff. Okay, I guess that's the way I'm going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's. Okay, let's get a bigger one. I'm probably going to have to move back a little bit. Yeah, I can't get the whole thing in. I'm going to recompose. Or, I suppose what I could do is just, go like this, right? No, let's move back a little bit. We don't need to be so ridiculously close all the time. Okay, I still have the macro lens on. So we are closer than we would be normally. Now let's see if I can get this to work. You know what? I think the pigment is. I have to reshake this here. Let's try it again. Maybe I got too much on the applicator again. I just can't win here. Mind you, it does sort of even out, I've noticed, once it starts to dry. Now, just inside the splinter rail where I'm almost touching right now, we're not going to be seeing that. I think I mentioned that yesterday. The reason being is because it's sort of it's sort of hidden from us. This area that I'm touching right now, that will be seen. But this won't. I do believe it's bringing out the planking a little bit here. Now I'm going to have to maybe turn this a little bit so I can see it here. Yeah, there seems to be some bare spots going on here. These will be seen because we'll be looking at an angle like this. So okay, I'm going to try and do the other ones the same way. Okay, I am back. This is what I got from the hardware store, better known here in Canada as Canadian Tire. And the reason I got a clear one, or one that I can kind of see through, is because I can see when I fill it up that I'm not going to overflow it. And now I know that I'm probably going to be getting a comment saying that, Ron, you're supposed to have gasoline in a red can. Well, keep those comments to yourself. I'm not gonna store the gas in this. I'm just gonna use it for measuring it out. Now let's see if it's gonna go on here, or is it gonna want to cross thread on me or something? That feels better. Okay. Yeah, the idea is that I should be able to get this down into the fill in my gas tank on the scooter and then carefully meter it out. A lot better than the system I've been using. Now, I was looking at this a moment ago, and I didn't realize that an American quart is smaller than a liter. I always thought they were pretty much exactly the same size. But this is 5 American quarts, and this is 5 liters up here. So it's, well, I guess you can't really see that, can you? Doesn't matter. So that was a bit of a surprise. I think this is going to work pretty good. I did entertain the idea of getting a little 5-liter red, you know, the regular kind. But I think this is actually going to be better for me. Anyway. Now, groceries has really gone up in price, hasn't it? Well, it's not double or anything, but, well, some things pretty much are. At least in the wintertime here in Winnipeg, produce was really expensive. I notice the price is going down a little right now. Okay. Let's move on here. These things here are pretty much, well, I don't know how dry they are. I imagine they're dry. I think that this stuff does dry fairly quickly. Let me just recompose. We'll take a quick look, and then we'll get our manual back on the table here and see what it is we got to do. I got a feeling we got to get the ship back on the model table. Okay, when we're moved in close like this, it looks kind of blotchy. But from arm's length, the way I was looking at it a moment ago there, it was looking pretty good, actually. I don't know if this is maybe these plankings are a little darker than the way I did the ones on the main deck. I guess we'll soon know, because I think we're going to have to, as I mentioned, drag it over here. Anyway, that's about as close as I can get without putting on the macro lens. And if I do that, we all know it's going to look terrible. Okay, I don't think there is anything we have missed here on step 46. If you remember, we did this section first, and a moment ago when I was looking at this, I was thinking, gee, I don't remember doing the life rafts, but actually we did. They're already mounted on top of this module, which is ready to be glued down. But then when I was looking at it, I was noticing that I guess you call it the grating or whatever it is on the bottom of these. I think these are actually some kind of Carly float, and I was thinking maybe we could put some Panaline color just in the bottom of that, just to bring it out. I'll do that in a few minutes. Okay, so that's done. We've got all these M1s, a whole bunch of them. We just did these, so they're done. We've already got these guns made. These were these little davits here. We've got them made. Our boats are done, and the little mount that it sits on is done. I can't see anything else here that we are supposed to do. Now I know the drawing does depict some of the guns already mounted in their gun tubs, like right here and here and here. We chose not to do that, if you remember, because there is a lot of fragile stuff on these guns, and they are the type of thing that can be put on absolutely last if we want, because the rigging is going to be more in the middle of the ship, so that won't be a problem. Same thing with the main turrets. But there is quite a bit that we have to do here yet. As I was mentioning earlier, we've got to make these things up, and then there's railings that have to go on. Good old railings. Okay, let's go back to this here. Okay, I think the next thing to do is to get our ship back on the table and see if we can put some of this stuff down. I don't see why this part can't go down. But first, let's put some Panaline. I'll put the macro lens back on. Now, most of this stuff that's in this box, it goes back here in this area, except for this piece right here. It actually goes right in front of this. I guess you would call this number 2 turret. At least I think that's the way it goes. There's probably a name for it. Anyway, this piece has to go right here. But this is the piece that we're going to put the Panaline accent color on. I keep talking about it and then I don't do it. But we're going to be basically working up here, so we may as well just put it in drive. Yeah, we'll put it in drive and step on the gas. Okay, so it's, yeah, don't want to shove anything off the other end of the table there. All right, I think we can all see what's going on here, and that's where most of this stuff has to go. Anyway, let's put the macro lens back on, and okay, being very careful when I reach over here now. Okay. I'm hoping that when that dries, it's going to lighten up just a little bit. but at least now it contrasts. You can sort of see it. I don't know if I got my light adjusted right, but it does look better to me. I've got my nose probably about 20 centimeters away from it. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Remember at the end of yesterday's episode I was saying something about maybe I could get out this evening, which was yesterday evening, and I was looking in my monitor and I saw what appeared to be the sun setting, and I thought, hey, if I can see the sun, that means that the weather that was moving in from the west is probably good now. So I did go out, and it was cold. It was really cold. Well, I mean, it was cold for the way I was dressed. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I was out, had a nice ride on the e-bike. But yesterday, I did go over to the Manitoba Public Insurance Corporation place, and I wore my chest cam, and I videoed the whole trip. It takes about 12 minutes. I'm going to tack it at the end of today's episode, because there's some people that don't want to watch that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to call her quits, because right now in my fridge is a bunch of meat stuffs that have to be cut up and put in little baggies and put in the freezer and stuff like that, so that I can meter it out a piece at a time. That's the way I do it. I buy in bulk, and it works out good for me. Now, I think that I pretty well come to the end of as much as I want to do here for this afternoon. And we'll go at this again tomorrow morning. We should do a little better, because I don't have to go to the stores and stuff like that. So I got a feeling that tomorrow we might possibly be turning the page, because all we got to do is drop stuff down that's already made. Well, we might run into problems. I don't know, like some of these things here, there's a whole slew of these little guys. They have to be put in little holes around here, and it could be I'm going to have to enlarge the holes. I don't know yet. We'll know tomorrow. So thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we're going to see you tomorrow. What I am planning to do here is give you a first-person view of the ride. And at the beginning and the end, I'll dub in some surveillance cameras just for perspective. And once again, there is nobody here. The same as last time. That's probably why they weren't answering their phone today. Well, that was a waste of time, but it was fun. As long as you're going to waste your time, you may as well enjoy it, right? Okay, let's get this thing back in the house before it starts to rain again. got to be a better way to do this. My house is getting junkier and junkier. Okay. There we go. You did good. All right. Guess I don't need to be leaving the camera running, but why not, right? Well, we'll see what it's like this evening. Maybe it'll clear up this evening. Thanks for coming along.